on the field. It's a miracle. Tennessee has pulled a miracle. Baby.
Welcome back to the Feels Like 99 podcast, the home of your 8-7 Tennessee Titans. My name is Drake Kizer, and as always, I'm joined by my co-host, Caleb Waters.
Finally, episode number 7, the Met Show edition.
You know, it's one of those things where their quarterback had posted a few selfies this week, including one before the game, and it's just kind of a reminder, you know, this is a National Football League, not high school. So, welcome to the show.
I think we got to do a little bit of explaining, don't you?
Yeah, you know, I'd say so. The Titans have gone on this little losing streak, and I kind of buried myself in a hole, and I haven't come out.
Yeah, I think we've both been in hiding ever since after that loss to the Steelers. We talked about watching the Colts game, but I don't think any of us ever made it out of the hole to even see it.
Yeah, you know, I really took that Steelers loss like hard. I was mad, like I was like had money on the game, but you know, it happens. I will give our Titans the benefit of the doubt. We have come into kind of a problem, but I think we have it figured out now. So what has been going on is, you know, we're home on Christmas break. Our usual setup and our equipment is not here at home in our hometown. So we've been, you know, jumping through some hurdles, trying to get everything set up. So now I think we've got everything set up, and then our next show should be live. Is that correct, Drake?
Yeah, I think from here on out, we're going to be able to do live and in-person episodes, which is what we had planned on doing for this whole break. We definitely did not anticipate missing like 4 weeks of the podcast. I know right after Thanksgiving, we thought about maybe taking that week for finals because we were both studying and everything like that. But after finals week, and even once we got home, like Caleb said, it's been crazy, and we've both been very busy with Christmas and family stuff. But I think everything's kind of winding down now, so hopefully we've got our equipment and our editing stuff set, so we can give you guys some new content.
Absolutely, yeah. So me and Drake, we've been really thinking about what we want to do with these live shows because we took so much time off. You know, it was finals week. Any college student or post-college student really understands the stress of finals week, even though I didn't have that as many finals as Drake did. Drake did get out a week earlier than I did from school. I did have some car troubles on the way home.
Yeah, right.
You know, had some car troubles, and you know, what to say, the 26th, the day after Christmas. Are you kidding me? Where did 2 weeks go? But so yeah, I think we're gonna really make the most of the time that we've got right now. We're recording tonight. We may record one tomorrow, a shorter episode, or this one may be shorter. I'm not sure what we've decided yet. But in all seriousness, we are very glad to get back to what we enjoy doing. I know Drake loves it, and I look forward to it all the time. Finally ordered us some rather nice equipment, so hopefully we will take advantage of our opportunity and record some live shows.
Yeah, and I think we're both really excited too because earlier today on the 26th, we actually posted our website live for the very first time, and you know, kind of our friends and family and some new followers have been able to see and get exposed to what we've already done and hopefully get involved with what we're going to be doing in the future, which I think we have a lot of fun things coming up. We're cooking up trying and maybe to get some guests and sponsors and everything else that all the other big podcasts have. And, you know, this is a really grassroots thing. We're just trying to get started. And so we're going to see where this takes us, but we're very happy for everyone that's been with us from the beginning and all the new people that we think we're going to be able to pick up in the future. So we're both very excited, I know.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so if you guys do not know, we now have a website where Drake and I, we have the archives of our previous episodes, and now we have a new thing. We have a message box, so you can message us on there and say, well, you guys suck or you guys are pretty good.
Yeah.
We also have a blog page as well where we'll write about the Titans. I actually posted my first one today. And I know Drake has one in the works, and I'm going to try to publish at least 2 per week, even in the off season, talking about NFL moves and, still Titans-centered, but there's definitely a lot less to talk about in the off season, especially with the Titans, a smaller market team. But, yeah, I'm definitely excited for this, and I think Drake is as well.
Yeah, I think too with the website, it's going to be a great way for people to stay up with us because, like you're saying, we're coming up on the off season, and there is always something to talk about with the NFL where they kind of stagger out the off season through different events, like they kind of drag the playoffs and the Super Bowl, and then it's almost draft time, combine, all that kind of stuff, and then next season will be here before we know it. But I think too that those the blogs and stuff will give us some content that we can talk about on the episodes. Maybe even talk about, the article you wrote this week or some of the stats that we talked about in our pieces or whatever. I think that'll give us some material. And hopefully if we get some guests on, they can give us some feedback and talk to us about what they thought about them too. So we do. I think the website is going to be something that's going to be very valuable to us moving forward.
Yeah, you can find us, learn about us if you want. I don't know how many people want to learn about a couple of college kids, but you can find links to just about everything. Our social media accounts, our YouTube channel. I read a lot of Barstool Sports articles and Fox Sports articles, and it kind of inspired me a little bit to give like a piece of writing that has a lot of opinion, but it also has things to back it up with like stats from, writers from the Titans like Jim Wyatt and Paul Kaharski, who also covers the Titans. But it also gives us a chance to speak upon what we would like to see. Like we talk on here, me and Drake talk all the time, but we can't be like, hey, you want to record at, if I have a thought at 11 o'clock a.m. on a Tuesday, well, we record on Wednesdays. I can't be like, hey, Drake, come, let's record right now, even though you're in class. But, yeah, I just think it'll open up a lot of opportunities for us.
Well, see, too, I thought about it. My idea for kind of my next article that's kind of in the works a little bit, me and my dad were just talking the other day after one of our recent losses. I think it was the one against the Cardinals where we really kind of crapped away a game that we really should have won. My dad was just really upset, and me and him were kind of arguing about Mariota some. And I mean, he was like comparing him to Locker and saying that he was never going to be like Steve McNair and whatever. And it really did. It got me on Google so fast looking up on like Pro Football Reference, like, man, Jake Locker didn't even play. He has not played in as many games as Mariota has already played in. In Mariota's season last season, he had more touchdowns than Steve McNair ever had in his career. And so, stuff like that just got my brain moving. I'm like, man, that would be a perfect article. Just be like, all those people that say Mariota's another Locker or that whatever, stuff like that just kind of sets a spark off in my brain and like, wow, that'd be something that I'd like to write and I think people would maybe like to read.
Dude, I am so sick of people saying that he's the next Locker or he's not any good. Well, you know what? If you were out there, first off, you wouldn't do any better. And two, we don't set up our guys for success like we should.
No, we don't. And see, he's in such a bad scheme and system, and we want to talk about this skid that the Titans have been on since we last spoke. It kind of did start in that Steelers game with the inconsistent play calling that we'd already been doing. And the last game that we previewed was that Colts game. And we didn't play bad, but it was definitely not a great performance. The next week against the Texans, another just nothing really to write home about. And then things really went off the rails. I mean, we've lost to the Cardinals. We've lost to the 49ers. And I think that the biggest issue and problem has been, like you're saying, it's the play calling. It's the situational stuff. I think we've got to discuss this no huddle Mariota controversy that's been going around.
Absolutely, dude. And you know what's crazy? Everything that's been going wrong with the Titans, we talked about before the skid. That's what I think is just kind of insane. I mean, we talked about it and we've seen flashes of it before this point, and it bothers me. But you can go ahead and give your opinion on the no huddle
Well,
offense.
see, my thing is for Marcus, it's so obvious that he's just not comfortable at all taking snaps under center. And I don't think that that's an issue. I don't think it's a problem. I just think that it's not even necessarily a knock on him. Just some quarterbacks are just better out of the shotgun. That's just the way they operate. People say that he can't read defenses or that, he only throws at his first option or whatever. Okay, even if that really is a problem, it seems to me that he has more issues with that when he's under center, because maybe he just has better vision when he's farther back in the pocket and he can really survey the field. So my thing is, it's no coincidence to me that when we go no huddle, and it is noted by everyone, even the coaching staff, that when we're in no huddle, Marcus calls the plays. He never, not once, has he ever called a play under center. Never. So that just goes to show to me that if a coaching staff was really tailored to his style and what he wants, under center would just be cut out of the playbook completely. We'd never run it again.
Right, and that's what gets me. If you get him in his element, if you get any quarterback in his element, they're near unstoppable.
Exactly.
And it makes me so mad because, yes, the interceptions he throws are atrocious.
Mm-hmm.
But it's because he's forcing them, because he doesn't really have an option. And yes, he's an NFL quarterback, but we saw Sunday, that first interception he threw, it was his first read. I just need to know why don't we set our players up for success? You can see the freaking insane throws that he makes. He'll make two unbelievable throws, but then throw a pick, and everybody's like, "Oh, he's the next Locker," or he's
exactly.
And it makes me so mad because yes, it's his fault, but it's not. That's what it's so frustrating to me because everybody expects him to be Heisman Mariota, and yes, he shows glimpses of it. I don't think he's healthy. I don't think he has been all season. I don't think he was ready to come back. I think he's being mentally affected by all the interceptions, all the noise surrounding, he's the next Locker. I think it's kind of getting to him, but it wouldn't if we set him up for success. You saw how well we moved the ball. Everyone saw how well we moved the ball against the 49ers when we went no huddle.
Exactly.
Imagine
if we had just done it the whole game, we would have won the game. That's the thing. We have done this so many times this season where we're a field goal away, a possession away. Like, if we just run the right thing all game, we wouldn't be within a possession. We might be up 2 or 3 possessions. That's what just blows my mind. Oh, it kills me. Because for half the game, even against the Rams, we saw it this Sunday. Half the game, we're doing stuff that doesn't work, and it doesn't work. And then we do something else, and it works. And see, this is my thing too. That first drive, we come out, and he throws that bad pick, and it's the no huddle, and he's calling the plays, and everybody says, "Oh, well, he sucks. He's calling his own plays and still throws a pick." I mean, no quarterback is not going to never throw an interception. I mean, that's just luck of the draw. I mean, you have to look at overall results, and the no huddle with Mariota calling his own plays is lethal.
Exactly. Yes, the first he's thrown some bad picks.
Yes.
But if you really look and dive into the plays, I've taken a few looks. The one that sticks out the most to me is when, I'm not sure who his receiver was, but it was that Thursday night game.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know who ran the wrong route, but he went one way, the ball went another way. That happened in the Cardinals game. And I think, did it happen in the San Francisco game as well?
I think it pretty much happens at least once every game where it seems to me like the receivers and Mariota are not on the same page. I don't know whose fault it is necessarily, but I mean, if the quarterback's the one throwing, I don't know.
Quarterback's got to be always right.
That's what I'm saying.
Got to be. And the ball that he threw, I was actually sitting in one of the end zones for Sunday's game. As soon as he threw it, I knew it was going to be a pick, and I think he knew as soon as he threw it, he was like, ah. And what was crazy was he definitely is second guessing himself because the ball. I don't know if you have seen the pretty amazing catch that Corey Davis had on the 50, but he hesitated because he was afraid he was going to throw a pick, and that's
Yep.
because they've set him up to throw picks, and that I just don't understand, and it makes me think the Titans might be a coaching staff away from being successful, or maybe even an offensive coordinator away because the defense hasn't been that bad. And I think I said this in my blog. I'm not sure, and I've seen other people say it. It's like the Titans are playing in the 1960s.
Exactly. And I think me and my dad were actually talking about this on I think this was on Christmas Eve too, where it was right after that game that we lost against the Rams, and we'd gotten a ton of pressure on Goff, and obviously we hit him a few times, and we basically took away their passing game because basically we forced them to throw screens to Gurley, but unfortunately that did not play to our strengths because we actually could not stop him. But my thing is, sometimes our defense, as well as they do play, we almost out scheme ourselves because at times we send so much pressure that we were making the joke that our defense at times looks like the Madden Engage 8 blitz. Literally, you send 8 people just flying to the quarterback, and you've got 3 safeties and secondary guys, and if they don't get it, then that's it. And all of those Gurley, the big touchdowns, the screen runs, whatever. I mean, that's basically, it was Engage 8. I mean, we literally blew everyone to golf, and you've got safety help, and that's it. So if they don't get him, then it's an 80-yard touchdown every time, and that's what we gave up.
Every time they scored a touchdown, it was like, oh, and bringing everybody, and when you know, it's a screen. And
exactly.
Engage 8, dude. I didn't even think about that. I don't think a lot of people have, but that is the most accurate depiction of our defense I think I've heard all season. And what makes me mad is, dude, I wrote about this in my blog as well. Dude, Todd Gurley hurdling. I am so sick of seeing him jump over dudes. So sick of it. He's done it ever since he was in college.
I know.
Yes, I know you're supposed to go low when you tackle, and if you don't, he might run over you. But, dude, just like when he hurdles, and I know it's a split-second decision, but, dude, somebody's just got to put their helmet in his hip and make him feel it, man. I'm so sick of it.
Well, it's just dangerous for him and the opposing player because I just don't want to see anybody airborne like that. And to discourage somebody from doing it, I do. I think, like you're saying, you got to make it legal. You got to make it a good, hard, clean hit. But, man, somebody's got to knock him out one good time and flip him around like Elway style and just let him know, man, like, don't go up. Like, there's no reason to go up.
Yeah,
like
he hasn't been hit like we're saying yet, and that's why he keeps doing it. And once somebody does it, once somebody on that Steelers defense does it, he will never do it again.
Exactly, man.
And
He's got to get hit.
Dude, our headhunters on the defense, the guys that bring the juice, Wesley Woodyard, Avery Williamson, I was waiting for them to do it. Woodyard has hit some dudes harder than I've ever seen him hit, and I was waiting for him to put Gurley on his back.
Oh, I know. And, man, when Casey came through on the one where we did the scoop and score with Woodyard, he literally went untouched. Like, he did like a rip loose stunt from Hendersonville Commando football. And, dude, he went right past. And, I mean, before he even got the snap almost, he's getting tackled, ball on the ground. Woodyard scoops it up. Man, that play was awesome. Love it. That is Titans football right there. That's not Engage 8. That's not, stupid stuff. That's putting a hat on a hat, beating your man, and just blowing into the backfield, killing everybody back there, and taking the ball away. That's what I love to see, and we need more of that and less of this. It just makes no sense. I mean, because I get it. One time you might get burnt on a screenplay because everybody gets burnt on him because you think that he's going to, he's not going to throw it or whatever, or you're going to get to him. But see, after a while, at least, I mean, do it Engage 7 or something. I mean, keep one other guy back and just let him look. I mean, say just like we did in high school, just say, hey, screen, or no, he's not. I mean, it's not a screen or it is. Like, I don't know. It's crazy.
Dude, that play was unbelievable. Dude, that dude is just – Jarrell Casey is a straight baller, dude. I have not – that's the first play that I've ever seen in person where something like that happens. And what should have happened happened. Goff should have fumbled. He did, and we scored a touchdown off of it, and that place went nuts.
Oh, yeah.
It went crazy, and I was like, wow, the Titans actually might win this game. I went into it thinking they were going to lose by 40 because that's just the way the Rams have been playing. They've been playing great. Titans haven't been playing great. But I did look before the game, and OddsShark had the Titans winning by half a point. I was like, oh, okay, maybe it's going to be cold. The Rams are used to the L.A. weather. There's not going to be a lot of L.A. Rams fans there, even though it's easy to get a Titans ticket as an opposing fan. But that stadium was half empty. And, yeah, I get it. It's Christmas Eve. It's cold, and it's, I guess, raining. It wasn't really raining that hard, but, man, yes, I know the players see it, and I know the ownership has a problem with it, but the only way to fill that place up is to win games you're supposed to win. If they beat who did they lose to on that skid? I guess it was just the out west skid. So they lost to the 49ers and the Cardinals and then the Rams. If you beat the 49ers and the Cardinals, what are we sitting at here? 10-6?
Oh, yeah.
10-6, and possibly going – well, no. Would it be 10-4?
Yeah, because we're 8-7 now. We were sitting at 8-4 before the road trip, so we would have been at 10-4.
So yeah, let's say you're at 10-4, and you got the LA Rams coming to town. Probably the best team in the NFC now that Carson Wentz has torn his ACL. That place is going to be rocking. And you know what? You know what else got me? Was the fact that the Jags lost. We could be playing for a division on Sunday, but guess what? We're not.
No, I mean, and honestly, if we had won all the games that we should have won, this should have put us ahead again. And then it would have come down to, like you're saying, this final game might have been for the division. If we won it, we definitely got it. We win the division, we're in totally. Even if we lose, it would have come down to common opponents, I think, where if we were tied with each other for division and we had 1-1 against each other, I don't know who would have had the better conference record. But regardless, we likely would have been the AFC South champions, maybe even a game ahead of the Jags. But we have totally crapped all that away, and we really are. We're basically a win or don't get in.
Dude, and that's what's crazy to me. I can't believe after all that's going on, we're still playing for a playoff spot.
Right.
That's just insane. We've lost, 3 games in a row now? And we still have a chance to get in the playoffs. I think that's all you need to know.
Well, it is because we started off the season so well, and that's what really upsets me too. Is like, man, we could be even so much better than we are, but we just haven't played to that level lately because I really don't know why. I couldn't tell you why, but we're still in a great position, and hopefully over this week and everything of reflection and I saw where Doug Marrone said that the Jags are not going to rest starters. I didn't think they would.
Wow.
I didn't think that that they would just kind of go out there and let us win after we'd already beaten them once this year. So we're going to be playing for our season, and I hope that's the effort that we see from our guys.
I'm hoping it is. I did not know he had said that, and that actually shocks me. It kind of makes me a little angry too because the first time we beat them 37-13 in the second game of the year.
Right.
Why? I mean, yes, they've gotten better as the season's gone on, but why? People are saying we might lose, and yes, if we lose, we have to rely on other teams to lose, and that never ends well for us.
No,
it didn't end well last year.
Year with with Hasselbeck, his first season here when we didn't get in at 9-7 just on tiebreakers.
I hope we come out madder than hell, dude. I really hope so. Because they need to be – yes, I get it. The players know. Jarrell Casey said, I cannot believe we lost to 2 sorry teams back-to-back. They know. They know what's at stake. So I really hope we get championship-level effort because once we get in the playoffs, anything can happen.
Oh, yeah, exactly. That's what I've been saying the whole time.
It's just a matter of when you get hot. And we saw it with the Packers when they won the Super Bowl a few years back. They came in as a wild card team, I think.
Yeah, they were.
And they come in and they run away with it. And that's the opportunity we have Sunday. If we can come in here and play our style of football and win, we can get in and we're playing the Jags again, I think, for the wild card.
That's the thing. If we do win, then obviously we're in. But then we're waiting to see what's going to happen with Baltimore, because basically right now we're playing for that second wild card spot, and I don't think that we could get ahead of the Ravens now because they've won another game that we haven't. So I think if we win and get in, we will be securely in that last wild card, and that last wild card will be Jags. That'll be their game. I mean, so we might see them again, and I think that's the reason why they don't want to rest starters. They don't want to see us for the third time. That'd be hard.
Yes. Is there any way we could play Baltimore or Buffalo? I don't know if they're still in the hunt, but we definitely playing the Jags if we win.
Well, that's the thing. The scenario for us to get in, obviously, is beat the Jags, or if what was it? There was a second one where
Doesn't Baltimore have to lose and Buffalo? I think
it's Buffalo and the Chargers that both have to lose. Yeah. So if Buffalo and LA Chargers both lose, even if we lose, then we'll still be the last wild card. And then there's one other scenario where it'd be if we like tie it or something, but you can just throw that one out. Like we're not gonna end in a tie. So
yeah, definitely not.
So basically, it's either win and get in or lose and hope that Buffalo and LA both lose. I know Buffalo got hosed this week losing to New England.
Well, they got waxed though.
Yeah, that was a pretty bad call. I think the Chargers lost as well, but I don't.
They did. Let's see. Who we relying on? The Buffalo and San Diego or LA?
Yeah, LA.
Buffalo plays the Dolphins.
Okay.
And the Chargers play the Raiders. I don't know if the Raiders have been eliminated yet, but it's at the Chargers.
I think that the Raiders have already been eliminated, so they would basically just be trying to play spoiler to their division people.
Yeah. Let's see. The Raiders are currently they're 6-9. Yeah, definitely. Dude, if the Chargers lose, they'll be 8-8. They definitely could lose that game. Buffalo is playing. It's the exact same scenario, which is weird because Buffalo's 8-7, LA Chargers are 8-7, the Raiders are 6-9, and the Dolphins are 6-9. So I don't.
So basically, both of those teams that we need to lose are playing against division opponents who are already out of the playoffs and just trying to seriously just play spoiler to someone else in their division, which could play in great for us because, even if we do happen to stumble up and lose, that would be two games that wouldn't be that big of a stretch for both of them to lose.
Exactly. Hopefully we don't have to rely on that, like we've said.
Right.
But it is realistic. And also, Blake Bortles might come in there and be the Blake Bortles we all know and love. Throw 3 picks, no touchdowns.
God, I love that.
Man, it just makes me so sick that the Jaguars are good. And it makes me mad is the Seahawks. The Seahawks they're a train wreck right now. They might not be good in a long time. Yeah. From what I've seen. They got beat by the Rams 42-7.
Oh yeah. And did you see this week where after the game Earl Thomas he went in the Cowboys locker room and was like, "Make sure y'all come get me."
Yes, that was insane.
I've never seen something like that.
Dude, that was I think that tells you all you need to know.
I think they're just unraveling. I think it's a case of it's one of those things almost like I think it's going to happen. It happens to every super team eventually where the coach he gets so many big personalities. When you're coaching that many superstars and whatever else, it's just hard to keep them all on the same page, especially the minute you start losing a couple games, they all go off on their own agenda and think they know better than you and they want to get out of town. And that's how all those super teams in all sports, that's how they all come to an end. It all starts with the manager losing control or the GM or the coach or whoever. They get fired, team blows up, and there you go. That's it.
Yeah, dude. The so-called Legion of Boom, I think it's over, man.
Yeah, I do too.
Richard Sherman tore his Achilles.
Yep.
Or ruptured. I'm not sure which one it was. Earl Thomas wants out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know the situation with Cam Chancellor.
They're both out for the year. Chancellor and Sherman both out for the year, and Thomas is a free agent, and they're not offering him any money. So,
yeah, dude. I'm so glad that they're about to crash and burn.
Yep.
I know the Titans beat them, but I have I never liked the Seahawks.
No.
Dude, and it's really because they're not a team that's supposed to be good. Like, there are a ton of teams that aren't supposed to be good. Like, in my eyes, I should say. They're, I've never seen a good Cowboys team. I guess last year, technically. I've never seen a bad Patriots team. It's just kind of like those things that you never think you'll see, and then you see, the Seahawks won a Super Bowl. Like, come on now.
And to be honest with you, like, I still remember cheering so loud when Malcolm Butler picked that last one that they threw when they wouldn't run with Lynch. I was so happy. Happy.
Yeah.
I wanted, like, I'm not going to say I'm a Patriots fan or anything like that. And I mean, I do. I respect Tom Brady. I like watching him play, but man, I was so happy for them to beat the stupid Seahawks, man.
Dude, you would have thought that my entire house were lifelong Patriots fans.
Yeah.
I jumped up. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
everybody, dude. I was like, wow. That's a great – I mean, yes, it's a great ending to a Super Bowl, but it couldn't have happened to, like –
the right team.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like,
yes, absolutely.
Love it.
But, dude – I was thinking today, another topic I like to bring up, dude, the Titans have got to make a move in the offseason for somebody. And it also got me thinking, who are we going to trade? It's not like we have a farm system anywhere. Yeah, you got the practice squad and some backups, but you don't have any prospects to trade. You don't have, D-League guys to trade. You can't buy players from other teams like you can in soccer. So, I don't know. The season's not over yet. But if we don't win Sunday, we should definitely take a look into what needs to be done in the offseason to be successful.
Oh, yeah. And I haven't even looked as far ahead as, like, obviously Earl Thomas is going to be a free agent, but other guys that'll be on the open market and then guys that'll be on the trade block. Usually in the NFL, the most valuable capital that there is draft picks.
Yes.
That's usually what you'd have to trade, along with maybe a player to get anything accomplished as far as anything big moves or whatever. So I don't know, kind of like you're saying, I don't know who we would really lump into a deal other than see, that's the thing. I mean, we have a couple extra receivers. I don't know what's going to happen next season with Tajay Sharp. Obviously, he missed this entire season.
Right.
I don't know what value he has to us or to other teams, or we have a couple fringe guys where maybe we could bring somebody in or something and give them out in a trade, but
right. So I've got a list of the soon-to-be free agents. A ton of quarterbacks. Drew Brees, Kirk Cousins, Le'Veon Bell is. I would assume he would re-sign,
or they'll tag him again. Same with Cousins, probably.
Allen Robinson from Jacksonville, receiver that we could definitely use.
Yes.
Jarvis Landry. We went out and just threw him a blank check. I'd love to have him. Devontae Adams, the receiver from Green Bay, throwing him a blank check. Those guys are game changers, man. We got Sammy Watkins from the Rams.
Ooh, I like him.
Yes. Jimmy Graham from Seattle, which I wouldn't give him the veteran minimum.
No.
A couple offensive linemen. Andrew Norwell from the Carolina Panthers is a guard. He's a notable DeMarcus Lawrence, a DN from the Cowboys.
Yeah, I know him, yeah.
Sheldon Richardson from the Seahawks. Alex Okafor, an edge from the Saints. He's on the injured reserve, though. He's a torn Achilles. Tahir Whitehead, a linebacker from Detroit.
Yep.
Jonathan Joseph from Houston. I'd love to have him. He's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Trumaine Johnson, corner from the Rams, would also be good. Kenny Vaccaro from the Saints. And that said, that's all the notable ones. Outside of those guys, we had a recent free agent signing. The Pittsburgh Steelers cut linebacker James Harrison, longtime Steeler, probably one of the most recognizable ones. He signed with the Patriots today. Yeah, I kind of have a problem with that.
I mean, I'll be curious to see how much he does or doesn't play, because he has not done much for the Steelers this year. Either just, I don't know if they didn't really have much for him, or just didn't really want to play an aging veteran over a younger guy, because basically Bud Dupree kind of took over for him. So I don't know. I don't know what kind of impact he'll have, but it seems to me like the Patriots wouldn't bring anyone in unless they thought they could get something out of him. So I'm very curious to see as far as like the team to team thing. I don't know. I'm sure he feels a little bit disrespected that the Steelers wouldn't let him finish his career there, but I don't know. Going to the Patriots, kind of like not necessarily their rival or anything, but they've just had some big games here, even just recently, like
Right.
the face.
Yeah, I don't think you should be able to cut guys this late in the season. They have one game left plus the playoffs. With that being said, there should be a point in the season where you can't sign guys. And the Titans signed guys over the past few weeks that they probably shouldn't have. The guy named Luke Stalker, tight end, he played at Tennessee.
Yep.
Cost the Titans a touchdown by the false start. Something else we need to talk about that I can't believe we haven't talked about yet. The phantom flag from the
Oh my
onside kick.
gosh. Yes. I still the best logical explanation that I have got out of any of it is, it was a case where the referees were supposed to be the ones to set the ball down, and basically Suckup was the one that set the ball and kicked it or whatever. But I have never heard of them stopping a game because the refs didn't set the ball.
So stupid, dude. I'm so sick of yes, the Titans got to stop on it. I don't know if we got points off of it. We would have had great field position. Back to what I was saying. I jumped off topic. I am so sick of games coming down to dudes that don't even play. They just run around and be like, "Oh, that's a flag." No,
Yeah, exactly.
we could sit on the couch and do that better than they do.
Well, it's just ridiculous because we've seen it 2 straight weeks with the Patriots in those 2 games, against the Steelers and against Buffalo this week, and you saw it in our game, and everybody's been talking about this year that stupid. It happened to Corey Davis. I know it happened to Cunningham for the Bears, the stupid fumble out of the end zone thing when it's a touchback. There are so many rule changes that have to happen this offseason, and that's the thing. We've got to get on the same page with all these refs because it's so inconsistent. This isn't like the strike zone in baseball or whatever else like that. There's no gray area here. Either it's a catch or it's not. It's a touchdown or it's not. Like, it's a flag or not. It's targeting or not. Like, we've got to get on the same page. What is what, and don't let these different officiating crews call a game differently or not, because it's got to be consistent. There's no gray area about this stuff.
I don't know if you saw or not, but there was a no-call false start on the Rams inside, like, the 5-yard line. And our guys, I think it was Cyprian and somebody else, and they're jumping up and down and going nuts, rightfully so. Be like, why are you not calling this? And how convenient it was that while they're jumping up and down, the Rams snap it, score a touchdown because they were kind of out of position, caught off guard. You know, how do you not call that? He jumped twice. Not only did he jump one time, he jumped twice. He twitched twice. And plays like that are what keeps teams out of the playoffs, like what we could see this weekend happen.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it all goes back to me for that game. It was like the first game of the season, it was years ago now, but it was the Seahawks and the Packers, same thing, where it came down with the refs both giving different signals and everything else. Like, man, like, you just can't have stuff like that going on. Like, you really do. You've got to get referees all on the same page. Either, no matter what the rule is, even if fans don't agree, whatever, it's got to be consistent. That's the thing. And it's the same thing with the suspensions, too. People will get suspended 3 games for a hit, and then somebody else will get suspended not at all. They'll get nothing. They won't even get kicked out of the game. So it's all over the place. Officials don't call the game down the middle at all. It's everywhere. They just make it up as they go, and it's bringing down the quality of the games.
And this is the top football league in the world. Go get the best guys, put them through like a referee boot camp, and if they don't make it, cut them. You don't have to give them anything. You don't have to be a great official to make what the right calls.
Exactly.
And that's just, and going off of what you said about the fumble in the end zone, I hate it. I hate that rule, but I agree with it. I don't know why you don't. I don't know why a lot of people don't. Tennessee, the Vols, and the Titans have been screwed on it. Remember a few years ago, dude dives for the pylon for the Vols, fumbles out of the back of the end zone, we lose. And I was like, that's such a stupid rule, but I think it's the right rule because you shouldn't. This is my opinion. This is my opinion. So if you're running and you dive in the end zone, you lose the ball in the back of the end zone. I mean, what else is like? What's the other side if you don't turn it over? What's the opposite?
What does happen then? Yeah.
Yeah. So what would you say if they're like, great, this is the NFL officials committee. What needs to happen with this?
I would say if you've maintained the ball in possession, okay, so like on the plays, like what happened to Corey Davis, and it almost happened to Derrick Henry, but he was able to bat it in just quick enough.
Right.
If you're reaching out for the pylon, and in the act of reaching out, you lose the ball toward the sideline side, I don't think that should be counted as a fumble or a loss of possession or whatever. I think that one should just be like the rule on any other part of the sideline. If you fumble out of bounds, it's just a fumble out of bounds. It's
right.
Whatever. But like you're saying, if it's out of the back of the end zone, like if there is a fumble and it's kept like out of the out of bounds side. So if you're going out for the pylon and it pops up in the air and goes out of the back of the end zone, I don't even necessarily have a problem with that particular play being a touchback. Because like you said, where should you spot it then? If it goes out of the back of the end zone, where else do you put it?
Right. Maybe.
Whereas to me, on the sideline, it should just go back to,
I mean, I definitely see where you're coming from, and I see where a lot of people are coming from. But if I don't know. I think it's an okay rule. I don't know if it should be changed, but I know a lot of people don't like it. But like, I have yet to see an official answer on what the other end of the spectrum would be. What are you gonna loss it down -5 yards? I mean that might be. It's kind of like intentional grounding, but I don't know. Another thing is missed calls. I get it. Refs are humans, but like you said, it's not baseball. There's no gray area. You call the false start. You can't miss play clocks running out. We've got to start using technology to the best way it can be used. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You've got to start using it the way it should be used. You need to have the ref have a buzzer when the play clock goes off, or you just can't miss false starts like that. It was a crucial game for the Titans.
Exactly. And when you miss calls and you miss stuff, and I mean, that could literally affect our entire season. That's a game that we could have won, or just on one or two calls massively change momentum in games like that. And it shouldn't, just like they always say in basketball with like the foul calls and the free throws and everything, it should not come down to a ref's game. Let the players play and decide who's the best on the court, the field, whatever. Not let's call fouls, let's call penalties, let's whatever, miss calls. Let's let the players play. Let's let the best athletes in the world decide it on the field of play, not people in a referee's uniform.
Absolutely. And it's another thing that hasn't been talked about at all that I've seen. The no calls on the roughing the punter on Brett Kern. Have you seen those plays?
Yes, I've seen them too.
I just don't get it. Like if it were the Titans that hit Johnny Hecker, that flag would have been out before he hit the ground.
I know. And that's another thing too, kind of like with the whole targeting or ejections or whatever else. If it's on prime time, they're going to eject people and they're going to kick them out and suspend them or whatever. But if it's at 12 o'clock on Sunday, you'll never even see those hits. And it's the same thing about quarterbacks or about punters or kickers. The notable ones will get the call, and then the ones that aren't won't. So, again, you can't have it both ways. Either call it or don't. I don't care if it's the worst. I don't care if it's TJ Yates or if it's Tom Brady. Like, we need to call the same plays and the same penalties for everyone.
Yes, and, dude, the Patriots get a new rule implemented every game.
Yeah, they dig stuff out of the rule book for them, man. And see, that's not right either. If you're going to dig stuff out of the rule book, like, you need to be doing that for everybody. It seems like it happens for them more than anybody.
It's almost like the refs have been trying to make it up to Tom Brady in New England ever since Deflategate.
they've dug out. I mean, just that. I mean, look at the Tuck rule. That was back before they ever even started winning Super Bowls. Like,
Exactly.
it's crazy.
And yes, I get it, dude. The New England fans are going to be like, you really think the NFL is trying to help him after he was suspended for, what, 6 games?
Yeah.
I mean, no, dude. Like, you cheated in a game. And they beat the Colts 49-7, but that game where Deflategate happened, dude, no, you can't do something so blatant and get away with it and think, like, I don't know if I mean, I don't know if our listeners have, heard about it. And I know it's old news now, but Tom Brady destroyed his phone so he wouldn't get caught. That's some serious stuff, man. That's like some legal stuff, dude.
It all comes down sometimes. I'm just like, man, it's almost like you really begin to think like almost everything that we watch is probably in some way or another, it's getting bet on, it's getting rigged, it's getting like, sometimes you just really feel like, man, are they just trying to have this outcome or that based for whatever reason?
But wait, there's more. Hang on to your seat, baby.
And now I believe we are ready to move to everyone's favorite segment, the Atrocious Takes segment, presented by Ronald's Napkins. They clean ya face. Drake, would you like to go first, or would you like me to?
I guess you can take this one. This is your baby, so.
Oh yes, my atrocious take is Jalen Ramsey comes out on the 50 and announces to the stadium that he is gay, and everyone cheers for him because that's what kind of world we live in today.
Exactly. My atrocious take would be 2 guys that know each other very well, one of which that we know very well. This has to do with Jalen Ramsey too. And right before the game, for the pregame toss, like when we go out for the captains and stuff like that, the Titans are going to bring out a special captain, and it is Mr. Terrell Carter. He is going to leave Memphis after his freshman season, where he was a freshman All-American, guy we played in high school with. Great season at Memphis this year. He's going to leave Memphis, bypass all eligibility, join the Titans, and he's going to play receiver, actually, just so he can line up against Ramsey. And he is going to play defense and offense, both sides, and just absolutely torch the Jags, pick off Bortles like 10 times. And we ride it out to victory. We're in the playoffs, and we've got TJ on our side from now on.
Whew, man, that was a good one. That was a good one. Well, Drake, is that all we got for today?
Yep, I think this has been a great first episode back, and hopefully we don't miss any other big streaks like that, at least not unannounced like that, so our listeners aren't thinking, what the heck's going on?
Yeah, I guess we haven't really apologized to the listeners, but yeah, we're sorry. Feels like 99 sincerely apologizes to all our listeners for our disappearance. Can't believe they didn't send out an Amber Alert for us, man.
Yeah, I know. We were pretty much just missing. I mean, it was even on Twitter. Like, our last retweet was from, like, the day before Thanksgiving, like, weeks ago. I mean, we were missing in action.
That's like we were totally wiped off the map. We were gone.
But we're back now, and we're back and better than ever. So
absolutely. I did get a few questions. Is the podcast over? And I was like, nobody said that, so why would you get that idea?
Yeah.
But, so I think there's one thing we left out, Drake. We here at Feels Like 99 want to cuff you. You've been listening to the Feels Like 99 podcast with Drake Kizer and Caleb Waters. You can find the podcast on Twitter at Feels Like 99 Pod. You can find the Feels Like 99 podcast on our new website, feelslike99.wordpress.com. And you can find just about everything you need there. You can find the archives of the Feels Like 99 podcast on YouTube. If you search Feels Like 99 podcast, you can subscribe by hitting the subscribe button. You can find my co-host, Drake Kizer, on Twitter at DrakeKizer_. You can find myself on Twitter at CalebWaters_14. Tell a friend about the Feels Like 99 podcast. Could be a friend, girlfriend, boyfriend, Titans fan, Jags fan. Could be any of them, We talk about more than just the Titans. We talk about it all on the Feels Like 99 podcast. It's a podcast for everybody, guys. So
Signing off for myself and my co-host, Dre Kizer. This is Caleb.
Thanks, ugly God. Thanks, ugly God. Thanks, ugly God. Thanks, ugly God.
It's a pretty cool podcast out there. It's called the Feels Like That.